Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, gathered with some of the most incredible and excellent builders on the Hermitcraft server in the founding meeting of the Monument Club, which is probably not what we're going to call it. So, howdy to ZombieCleo,
Hi.
Red Eyes,
Hello.
Aurelian,
Hello.
and King Happy.
Hello.
And so, roughly, the idea of this organization, which we might yet rename something better like the Monument Club 2000, is that we will build interpretations of monuments from actual Earth in Planet Hermitcraft. And we won't build them necessarily block for block and brick for brick, but interpret them in some way that makes them more fun for us individually. Like, for me, I thought it would be fun to combine the idea of the mausoleum at Halicarnassus with Biffa's Bowl from the original Hermitcraft server. So I kind of incorporated architectural elements from both. Would you guys mind if I gave you a little tour?
Go for it.
Go ahead.
So one of the big things about the mausoleum at Halicarnassus that I liked is that nobody knows what it really looked like because it's gone now. But there are certain details that we do know, like the number of pillars on each side and things like that. So, I was like, okay, I'll do the same number of pillars as the real mausoleum. But then I figured, wait, you know what? They don't have to be made out of the same materials like Roman concrete. I can just use water. And that's cool because Biffa's Bowl, the thing I'm making a monument to from the old server, was surrounded by water, So that's just kind of one way I interpreted this. I obviously built an actual bowl here instead of interring somebody's bones, because there's no dead people on the server.
Yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wah,
If somebody actually dies, we're gonna have to build a second mausoleum for like. It's really bad that so and so got hit by a car. I don't want to even name names because I'm scared it'll happen. Yeah, and other changes that I kind of made to the actual mausoleum plan is like the real mausoleum supposedly had a 45-degree angle roof that met at a point at the top. But because Biffa's Bowl was open to the sky, I reinterpreted this so that the roof here would open to the sky as well.
I like it.
I do
Thank
too.
you. And then if you guys, you can jump off right here, and there's a little platform. Make sure you're not jumping to, your death. But the real mausoleum had carvings all along the outside of it. And we don't have a lot of leather on the server yet, but as I accumulate it, I've been adding carvings of my own to the side of the wall here, demonstrating, in this case, the sand generator that Biffa used to fill in the ocean.
Oh, that's good. I was gonna say, shouldn't these be stories? But I guess
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what you've done.
Well, and so, because this is a particular interpretation of something from the old server, that's kind of where I went with it. And other things on the sides might end up being other elements from his bowl or what have you. Now, obviously, not everything I make would be about Biffa's Bowl. This was just one particular choice. But, I don't know. Does this get you guys excited about making any of your own monuments? And do you have any that you had in mind?
Well,
I
to
have
be honest,
one, I think.
I thought we were doing stuff a little bit bigger scale. I thought we were gonna do maybe some group stuff.
Well, the mausoleum was very, very small anyway. It was
Right.
it was a teeny thing. But yeah, I mean, for example, like the Hanging Gardens and the Colossus are definitely group projects.
Oh, yeah, and I would be happy to work with you guys on this. As you can see, the stairwell over here is still, not done. So if you guys have advice on making this not terrible, I would be happy to hear any of that and then implement it with your help. I decided to put the stairs on the backside because I was worried I would ruin it, and I kind of did, so that was smart. But, I have until, people start building over on this side of the monument before I have to start worrying about folks, seeing how terrible they are.
I think it looks good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's good.
But yeah, I definitely agree. I'd love to see more larger scale stuff and group projects. Now, Hanging Gardens, I know, Cleo, you had expressed an interest in that.
Yeah, it's. I was gonna. I don't know if you've seen my house, but that was sort of like a mini prototype that I was starting. But then my brain was sort of thinking about using a lot more glass and building in circles because I like circles. And then there was my brain went to different layers with lots of water and actually it's a lot like this, a lot of water pillars. So yeah, my brain's, it's not quite decided on it, but I like the idea of just actually having a garden that hangs and you have to get up to in different ways. I guess you guys are here to help figure out stuff, or if you've got any better ideas, certainly go for it.
Well, I like your point about prototyping with your house. Could you show us what you were thinking by showing us your house?
Yeah, sure. Come across.
We should
Trip you
get,
up, King?
we should get some sort of little train track so that we can all choo-choo between the points of our door. Although I didn't know that we were going to Cleo, so I guess the train track would have to
Creep up, creep up, creep up.
Don't kill that horse. Does anybody have a
Okay.
bow?
Nope.
I have one in my
Whoa.
chest.
Very
Sorry,
close.
I had to get it out of my inventory.
It's not the melon house, it's this one.
This one, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Now I like the stripy thing, and I like
I do too.
the stone and the thing together, but I'm just not sure if it would work full big scale. But
I like it.
thank you.
Now, do
I
you
do
have
too.
pillars underneath supporting it, or was that an element you chose to remove?
I've been looking at images of the hanging gardens, or well, considering they probably don't exist anyway, what people think they used to look like, and it was basically stuff like this on several different levels with the trees and stuff hanging over. So I mean, I quite like the idea of different layers and, you know, all in the same sort of style, but progressively getting smaller as you go up. Maybe like, I don't know, sort of like a circular pyramid, as it were, or a blocky one. Haven't decided.
Or you could even have it built like terraced into an existing hill or something like that.
That could work.
One thing that I'm looking at this and I'm realizing is, unlike if we were not using the snapshot, now that we've got these carpets, we could even use some of like the dark green and the green carpet, or like in autumn use like orange and red and yellow to give like a leafy texture to the ground. I guess we could just use leaf blocks too. But
I love this under section, like what you've got underneath here. I don't know what you could do here, but this is really cool under here. Like if you could do like a fountain or something down here,
image
it
I
looks
had of
great
it.
down here.
The image I had of it would be, I thought you were going to have like multiple layers, and then between them would be the trees and the waterfalls and things kind of flowing between the layers.
That could work too.
oh, okay, so like pedestrian garden layers mixed with tree terraces.
And like waterfalls and things going between them. Kind of like a living waterfall.
That
kind of
sounds
thing.
awesome, actually.
Yeah, I like the idea of living
Yeah.
waterfall. Because we talked before about having like redstone elements to it, so it's actually doing stuff.
Oh, you could even have it like shift the water flow from day and night and things like that.
Oh, yeah, you
with
could
the,
definitely do
light
that.
sensors.
Have
Yep,
like
and you have
fountains.
the lights turning on and off and musical notes going and things.
Okay, that definitely sounds like something you guys need to help me with.
So you
Like
get
a
pots of
rain
it.
chain. That would be cool. Have you guys seen those rain chains where it rains and you can hear them? If we could mix in music blocks, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you can do that.
What's a rain chain? Is that like a wind chime?
It's kind of the same thing. They're made out of copper bowls, and they hang on a chain where it's like bowl after bowl every like inch or so, and when it rains they fill up and spill into the next one, so it chimes, but it's made out of raindrops.
Interesting. I've
They're
not
cool.
Seen those.
Very cool.
Oh.
Sounds highly annoying to me.
I hate that idea. Don't do that ever.
I need a bell to remind me that it's obnoxiously wet outside.
God.
Well, I think what you have here looks great. I like it.
Yeah, it's just figuring out how to get it onto a bigger scale, I think, that's not irritating for everyone.
Well, and that was something too. Like I talked to Topmass, who's like built. You see that mountain beyond the water pillar there? He's got a base set up on the other side of that mountain, and he was like, I wish people would build cool stuff around my place so I could look at it.
Well-
You
so,
could do it next to the mountain.
So is he
So-
next to a big ocean?
no, I don't
No.
think there are big oceans on this seed, or at least not near us.
So one of my ideas that I wanted to do was I wanted to do like an underwater Atlantis. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I need a big body of water, and it looks like. there
Should we
might
go
be
over
one
have a
over
look
there.
at Topmass's house then?
Yeah, we
I'm gonna
could.
head over that way.
I don't know
I think
exactly.
he's just got a little house.
Yeah, it's just a little storage thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we could look at the terrain and see like what we would want to build if we were out there, but yeah, the house itself is not particularly impressive at this point. It's
Was
just
it on the
a,
other side, or is it this?
The other side
Cobble
on the
one.
left.
It's on the left side of the
Oh
It's
yeah.
behind the
there,
mountain.
there was a place I was thinking of setting up my base. It's sort of in between here and where you spawn. And I think that's just in Topmaster's view as well. Like
Yeah,
a
and
nice
that-
valley.
Yeah, and we can make these our personal bases as well. That they like, like my base right now is in the basement of a mausoleum, which sounds a lot more depressing than it is. But yeah, here's Topmaster's little house. But so like you see how there's like that mountain across from him there. We'd want to talk to him about what we were building, because just to make sure he doesn't have any other plans for it. But
Well, we need kind of like a river for the Colossus anyway, so that's a thought.
well, for the Colossus, there's kind of two trains of thought. Traditionally, the rumor was that it actually stood astride with 1 foot on each shore, but they're saying, well, engineering-wise, that probably isn't how it was actually built. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to make sure that we didn't try to take everything too literally with this project, because it's going to be way cooler if we have a massive statue with 1 foot on either side of it.
Yeah, rule of cool. I think that applies to everything we build. It has to just look cool.
But yeah, so like if we were to build a giant Colossus, though, there's the question of, like, for example, should we make a giant generic bee statue or something ludicrous like that? I'm not saying it has to be that, but something equally ludicrous. Like, if it was December, I'd say we should build a giant Santa Colossus.
Ha!
But Jenny,
We need to
do
build a Colossus that we can actually decorate for the seasons, I think.
Oh yeah. I love Red Eye's Sphinx generic bee idea though. That is great. And we could have cat food in front of it. What I want to make sure that we do though is also that we make sure to build these things where people will see it in their videos. Like, I want to be beautifying the whole server, not just like, oh, we're gonna go off in the wilderness and make one area look cool that nobody will ever see.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so we'd have
agree.
to
Absolutely.
build
And we have
within
to
view
finish
of.
the project as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
I
I'd
was
say-
thinking each time we did a project, one of us would take charge and be the one that, like, if people had questions, they knew who to go to. And we would take turns or whatever, depending on who was interested in what. So, like, obviously, if Red Eyes decided to build, the Sphinx, we would all go help, but, he would be we wouldn't butt heads with him. He would just be in charge. Does that make sense?
Like like he would be the project manager or
That's the best way to
general-
put it, yes.
or the
Project
general
manager.
contractor.
I think project manager might be better than general contractor for this.
Whatever you say, Joe Hills.
I mean, you guys can disagree. We could go with general contractor, Red Eyes.
I
Hold on,
like project.
I like project manager, I have to say.
So, like, for example, if somebody wanted to work with the work on the mausoleum, they would know, oh, okay, I'll go talk to Joe about that.
So how do we want to do it? Do we just want to do sort of like maybe start projects sort of sequentially, so we get the bulk of one thing done before moving on to the next, or what?
I mean,
I
we
really
could do
think
that if we do. I mean, I don't know if this is like just me being OCD, but we could have like an ongoing open Google, like Excel kind of a document, and then just list like, okay, I'm gonna build this. I know that I'm gonna need a ton of sandstone, or I'm gonna need a ton of cobblestone or glass, and so people know like the order of what things can be done, and that way, if they're playing by themselves, they've got the ability to help out by saying, okay, well, I'm gonna go gather a bunch of sandstone or whatever for the project.
Well,
And
and
then
to even take that one step further public-wise, maybe having at the location, we put up a signboard that says, future location of hanging gardens. And then we have a bunch of empty chests, and we say needed materials, 8 stacks of sandstone. And so
Yeah.
that way, if somebody else is on the server, it's like, oh, hey, what's going here? Oh, I've got some extra sandstone. Let me throw it in.
Well, that really is how big projects work. I mean, you have all these different layers. You've got the people getting the materials, people bringing them in,
Right.
people designing, people just doing what they're told.
Somebody build a bridge out here, or is that like a natural? Is that made out of gravel?
No, it looks like cobble to me.
It's
like
cobble.
That's
Looks
probably
like a
somebody's
jetty.
very, very failed horse stable. Like, oh no, my horse is in the water. I'll save it. No, it drowned.
Horses drown?
Oh yeah, they can't swim.
Okay, my horse is never coming out of the stables.
I'm just never gonna get a horse. That way I never have to deal with the heartbreak of having it drown.
So, one thing that I wanted to take a look at, if you guys are up for it, is King Happy and Mumbo just have been working on a massive iron farm at the actual like server spawn-in location.
Yeah.
So we're gonna want to take a Nether portal to get there. I was gonna not use top masses because I don't know where that comes out in the Nether, and it might be a terrible idea. But they had said that they would be cool with us making it pretty and turning it into something if we wanted. Now it's up in the sky, so it would be hard to make it into a traditional monument. Maybe I guess you could make it into like the Space Needle or something. But we can go take a look at it.
Nom nom nom.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is I figured there's going to be all these kind of weird, ugly farms all over the server, and so if people know that they can call us to make them like into beautiful, like massive
The
statues or
beautification
whatever.
committee.
Yeah, so that way the server looks cool too.
Yeah,
you know?
especially the
We're
spawn.
like the server's parks and rec department is what we are.
Just don't jump off the edge straight away.
Yeah, careful. There's a cliff here.
Did an
So-
iron golem just fall down out of that building?
Yep. Reload quickly.
Okay.
Holy
Yeah.
spicy guacamole.
So you guys see how roughly this works.
This is only a little thing to get some mine to then build the big one.
So how do we get down from here?
You have to jump into that water pit down there.
And don't
Oh.
miss it because I've done that.
Yeah,
might
Joe's
just-
done
oh,
it.
no. Good. Who's
I
got
This
like
is
that?
a problem. I can't see a water pit.
Okay, so then
Nope,
where does
can't
the
see
iron
it.
come from?
From the golems. The iron golems are made of iron, and by killing them, we take their body parts and repurpose them to beat them into plowshares and swords.
Well, that but oh, Cleo.
Who?
Hopefully you didn't fall in the same place as me.
No,
'cause
no,
that's
it's
gonna get
okay.
very
I've got
confusing.
the stuff. I'll
Looks
chest
like
it
she was
for
trying to
you.
jump into the lava though.
Yeah,
I
she's trying to
can't
jump into the lava.
I can't see anything from up there.
So where
your
does the
render
iron go? So
distance
like
too
I
low?
Oh,
see.
behind you, behind you. No,
Oh,
no,
no.
Go down, go down. Keep going down.
Best scream I've ever heard.
How do I get out?
Hang on,
You don't.
hang on.
Did she jump in the lava?
Yeah, she jumped
I
in
got
the
no,
lava.
she's alright.
pushed. No,
well,
I'm
you're
here.
not as tall as them, so you won't take all the lava damage.
You should just be able to walk out.
Of the lava?
As in,
No.
you walk
You
through
gotta
the
dig
water
out the
stream.
side.
How do you walk through the lava stream?
The water. Just see where it pushes you. You should just be able to walk along there. You're only 2
Oh, I see
blocks
it.
high. Where the lava blade is 3 blocks high.
So how do you get out? Where is there a ladder?
Just walk out the back and I'll come and break it up.
Right.
There. That's not gonna get
Aha!
lava,
See the
is it?
water! See the water! See the
Oh,
water!
thank you.
And
See how helpful it is to be able to see the water?
Sploosh!
I don't want to break anything.
Trying to get
Ah,
out the
there you are.
water.
there.
We believe in
Get
you,
there?
Cleo. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
can just
there.
go through the middle.
Thank you.
There's not a lava blade in here to kill you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm out now. Where's my stuff?
It's in this chest.
There's one chest here.
Thank
one
you.
person Stuff. The other one's got the other one.
Yeah, that's not mine.
That's your.
Eh.
No, yours is the one over here. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I already emptied that one. Okay, yeah, I think these two are just Cleo stuff.
Well, that was fun.
It's mine.
Oh, I hear him dying.
Oh, is that them dying? Are they in there now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fall out from up there. So anyway, if we could turn that into some sort of monumental structure of some sort, so it's not just this random house in the sky.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be a
How
lot
big is
different
it
when
going
it's
to
finished.
be?
It's gonna be a completely different farm, and it's gonna be a lot bigger, like a heck.
Right, because if it's like that, I can see kind of a multi-structural tower.
It's not
sort
gonna
of
look
it.
anything like that at all. It's
Nothing
gonna
like
be-
that.
It's going to be 2 structures. One part of it's going to be 60 high by 50 something long and 30 wide-ish. And then about 30 blocks away from that is another structure which is going to be about half the height but the same sort of width and diameter.
Right.
It's going to be like 2 things, so it's going to be very big.
I think we need to see the finished thing before we can actually decide on what we're going to make it.
Yeah, we can link to that.
No, that's totally fair. Yeah, I didn't realize how that was going to be so different from what they had.
Yeah,
now.
it's not going to look like that. That looks pretty in comparison.
Sort of looks like a Canada goose right now.
Looks
I was
like the
thinking we could
Star
make the
Trek
ship from
Enterprise.
Firefly.
Or a turtle.
Kind of looks like the Enterprise.
Turtle with a long neck.
Like we go from Enterprise, the turtle with the long neck.
It's essentially a
It's
giant
practically the
space
same
turtle.
thing.
It's got a bald guy.
It's a
the same.
space turtle. Oh, there's a demon spider.
How is that worse than a normal spider?
Because he's demon-y.
Not demonic.
Nope.
All
Totally
spiders are
different
demonic.
thing. Yeah.
How about cave spiders then? Are they even worse?
They're
They
demonic
like-
and possessed.
Ah. I'm glad we got that differential sorted out.
It's an important distinction, and I feel it needed to be made.
When you cry
So-
for help, make sure you have the right spider description.
Oh yeah, it's like when you call the fire company. If you tell them it's a chemical fire, they're going to treat it differently than if it's like an oil fire.
Oh wow.
So, do we want to possibly establish some sort of central chest location for
The central
well, I
chest
guess-
depository. So the seven wonders then, what are they? Because we've only talked about like 3 or 4.
Well, we talked
Yeah.
about the ancient ones, haven't we?
Yeah.
Rather than the...
Yeah, and
I'll
there's
look it
other
up.
things that we could do too. But the 7 wonders of the ancient world, you've got the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is the only one that's still there. You've got the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. You've
Yeah.
got the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus.
Yeah.
And that one is like a long Parthenon-looking building type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the statue of Zeus at Olympia, and the cool thing about that is the statue of Zeus at Olympia is this massive statue that's indoors, and it's so big that if it stood up, it would like unroof the building. He sits on a carved cedarwood throne, so you could do something with the carvings the way I did on the side of my thing, but with like the wood throne. Then there's the Colossus of Rhodes, which we discussed, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria. And the only reason I haven't brought up the Lighthouse of Alexandria is because people do lighthouses a lot on Minecraft, but I mean, we could do it.
I think it might be a good idea for if we get like a small build going, as us lot, and then maybe after that branch out when we've got an idea of how this will all work.